go ahead and bring in our chief legal analyst, Kali Froats, to talk about the legality of Border Patrol coming to Charlotte. Now, we should note there is a difference between ICE and Border Patrol, but what are agents allowed to do and not allowed to do while they're here?
That's a good question, and I'm not sure that they even know. I mean, we're 1,000 miles away from the southern border for sure, so I am not sure what their job obligations would be. I mean, I normally look at these type of questions as a who, what, when, where, and why, right? We know who's coming. It's Border Patrol, and as you made the distinction, it's not like ICE. ICE has been here. We've seen them do a number of raids before in the area, specifically inside the courthouse, outside the courthouse, around the courthouse, and places like that. The what and when, we don't know what they're doing, but we know it's supposed to be Saturday, next week sometime. That's when they're supposed to get here. The why is really the question that we don't understand, why they're doing that and why this is happening. And so trying to figure out that why is going to be the problem.
Are there any legal obligations for an organization like the Border Patrol to be able to say, hey, we don't want to cause a political fiasco like could happen in other cities. So is it better to communicate, to be upfront about what their intentions are, and how do the local agencies help them coordinate that?
I think that it's a two-sided answer. I mean, it's like two things can be right at the same time. While you want transparency from organizations, the people that govern you and the folks that, are in law enforcement positions, police, military, anything like that, you want to know what's going on. But from a tactical response component, from a planning component, I don't think they want to let folks know what's going on as well. And I think that was kind of the response they gave. Hey, we'll be in the area. This is what we're attempting to do. And that's about all we'll give you. If you're attempting to do things in a covert nature, by the nature of the job, you don't want to expose all of the plays in your playbook. But if you're looking for cooperation, if you're looking for other agencies to participate and to help, then yes, you would want to have that communication. But there are limitations. Back to your original question, what can they do? Are they able to arrest? There are specific things they could do within that 200-mile radius of the border. Well, because we're outside of that region, I think we're different than, say, a Chicago, where you have the Canadian border that's close. I mean, if you're saying South Carolina's the border, then yeah, they may have a lot of opportunities that they can do. But if you're saying the Mexican border or the Canadian border, we're far from both of them. So I think they would be extremely limited in their ability to help. And I think right now the Trump administration is okay with that. What they're saying is if we're trying to do the largest mass deportation in history, we're going to get ICE that's out there doing their job, and any other agency that can assist in that capacity will get to do that. I'll point to their director right now, who has already been sued a number of times for excessive force for the things that they were doing in Chicago. What he said, well, we're going to do the job, and if I got to go to court to deal with that, that's what will happen. Lied on the record about the type of force they were using, and it was called out about it. So that's what we can expect, is excessive force in attempting to utilize and do what they want, the demand and the request of the president, which is to meet the numbers of getting the large deportation history.
Well, so what do people need to know, right? If obviously it's the weekend, people are going to be doing all of their activities. What are people's rights if potentially you run into Border Patrol, if you're pulled over? And we should note local law enforcement is not going to get involved in any of these things unless criminal activity, as the mayor has said, is happening right in front of them. So what are your rights?
CMPD said that, Sheriff's Department have said that, right, that they're not going to get engaged and involved in these types of things. This is, I've participated in a Know Your Rights type of seminars a lot, and those are really clean-cut examples that I give you when you're dealing with law enforcement. You're pulled over. Are they detaining you? Are they arresting you? Those are the types of questions. This is a really weird place to be in. Why? Most of these engagements that you're having with ICE and Border Patrol, they're in unmarked vehicles. They're in masked individuals. And so I just say comply. I hate to go to that directive, but that's the best thing that I can say, because if you're being detained in that scenario, if you resist, then you can have those criminal charges, and then local law enforcement will get involved. But if you're dealing with someone that's in a masked vehicle, I really hate to say that I'm telling you to comply, but that's what they're showing up in. White vans with masks on with no identity. Right now, if you're suspecting it's ICE or Border Control, I say comply. That's about the best you can do, because you don't want to resist, because then you'll get a criminal charge.
Wow. All right. We'll have to see how this weekend unfolds if they do start showing up. Khalid, thanks.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.